Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. It's October 25th, 2025, and we have a lot to discuss about Hurricane Melissa and severe weather in the States. Now, starting with the States, because it's all connected, the Storm Prediction Center has issued another slight risk, or a 2 out of 5, going from southern Texas to Louisiana and a little bit of Alabama. And we also have a marginal risk in the Pacific Northwest coast, but also a little bit on the eastern side of Oregon and Washington. And what this entails is that we're going to see a 5% chance to see an isolated tornado from Texas to Louisiana, but we also have a very small chance to see a brief tornado in the Pacific Northwest as well. Other hazards include damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour for Texas, Louisiana, but also for Washington and Oregon. And we also are going to see large hail only in Texas and Louisiana. Flash flooding is still going to be a major concern, especially from Texas to the Mississippi Valley and a little bit from Oklahoma and Kansas. But we're also going to see flash flooding again for the Pacific Northwest. So when this is all going to happen, starting with the south, you guys already seen remnants of some showers and storms that happened last night, and that's going to dissipate over time. But we're going to see a resurgence of some storms, and they're going to be isolated initially around 2 p.m. Central Time in central Texas, and they're going to travel eastward and eventually going to form into clusters into one big squall line, just like what we saw yesterday, basically one band of storms. And then for the Pacific Northwest, you guys are going to see isolated to scattered storms pretty much all day, and it's going to last throughout tomorrow as well. So looking at 500 millibars, or maybe the troposphere, we still have these 3 troughs that we're paying attention to, one in the northeast that's dissipating, one in the south, and one in the Pacific Northwest. And each one is bringing its own ample amount of wind shear, which is going to tilt those updrafts, prolong those storms, and an ample amount of vorticity or spin, and it's going to help with those upward motions. And over the next few days, this trough in the south is going to dissipate, but the one in the Pacific Northwest is going to continue traveling eastward and eventually absorb that trough and extend itself even beyond to Florida. So I would expect definitely cooler than average temperatures for the plains around like mid next week. But what's more interesting, as this trough deepens, it's going to influence Hurricane Melissa and be one of the reasons why she's going to be drifting to the north. Now, Melissa is still a tropical storm as this video is being recorded, but it should be a hurricane by today. And Melissa has been sitting in the Caribbean for a hot minute because she's been sitting in between 2 mid-level high pressures, and those are clockwise flow, but because she's sitting in between, they're having opposite flows and competing with each other. With this trough in Oklahoma and Texas inching itself a little bit to the Gulf where this high pressure is, it's making this high pressure both erode but also influence a lot more northeasterly flow into Melissa, which is why we're seeing her start to drift to the west. And because of that erosion, this high pressure won't have the effect for that much longer. And because of that trough that's deepening in the states that we just mentioned, it's going to kind of yoink Melissa to the north. And so with this trough and the high pressure in the Atlantic, Melissa is going to be drifting to the northeast. But all this is going to be kind of a worst case scenario because Melissa is going to be mostly stationary, sitting above sea surface temperatures above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And she's anticipated to be a major hurricane, a category 3 or greater. And with that being said, the National Hurricane Center is predicting that Melissa is most likely going to hit a direct impact to Jamaica. But because she's stationary, all these islands are going to have significant rainfall. So places like Jamaica and Haiti are going to see 30 inches of rainfall.